Hello guys, my name is Shariq-e-Haqeeqi and today I want to discuss about that why are you being bullied or why are you being teased? So I want to discuss about that because there are so many reasons, there are so many videos, so many contexts, so many articles we can read over internet, but still people like us, people like me, people like you are unable to find out the real reason behind the bullying, behind the power dynamics that we are facing. So it has taken me immense effort and a lot of years to unravel and understand the exact reason behind bullying. Because, like you, like many of others, like many of us, I have also been understanding bullying through a dynamic which is not real. Because we often see things, we often understand, analyze things through the power dynamics. But in case of bullying, this is not always the case because in this world, in this material world, we are made to we are made to learn. We are made to analyze situations through materialistic lens. That if someone is powerful, if someone is stronger, then he would bully. He would be taking edge. He would be leading. And if someone is weak, if someone is meager, then he would be led. He would be bullied. He would be trampled upon by people, and he would be left alone in the dust. And similar framework we apply when we analyze the power dynamics. We often think as when we think about bullying or we think about someone who is getting bullied. And if you are being bullied, if you are being harassed, if you are being, mocked, then you may think that you are weak because you are made to analyze this scenario through the framework you are provided by the world. But this is kind of spiritual framework you need to understand in order to analyze your situation realistically. Because we are made to analyze, we often denote our empathy, our problems with weakness. That we are weak, that's why we are being bullied, that's why we are being teased. But that's not the case. But the reality is otherwise. It's vice versa. Because you are powerful, you are strong, you have a divine presence that makes people terrified. People are terrified, petrified by your presence because your presence is so divine, so much enlightened that people can't stand it. People's on inauthenticity radiates, it gets exposed in your presence. They got to think about themselves when you are among them that how much inauthentic they are, how much regressive they are. That's what you make them realize when you are between them, when you are among them. And people who bully you, they are actually petrified of you. They fear you. That's why they mock you. They don't mock you. They actually try to bury their feelings of inauthenticity, of evilness, of anything bad they are feeling about themselves when that you made them realize. They're actually trying to bury that very feeling. Because you make them realize, you make their unconscious conscious. Their unconscious, which is buried under the shadow of their personality, which is a lot of dirt, a lot of filth beneath them. That's what you make them realize. And they know that they can't have you at their back. They can't have your back. You will not support them. You will never be with them because they are not worthy enough to deserve your presence. And they know that. And that's what goes around in their minds subconsciously, unconsciously, which makes them terrified. And they mock you. They never want you to realize your power, your real power, your presence, your divine presence. You have a healing capacity. You are a born healer. Your presence makes people heal. That's what they are terrified of. And you have been thinking over the years that you are being bullied, you are being mocked because you are weak, or you are meager, or you are someone who needs to improve, who needs to be powerful in order to deserve their company or their presence. But that's not the case. They need to work on themselves to deserve your presence, to deserve your company. Because you have in yourself a divine presence, a divine light. You are too much heavy for them to tolerate. They can't stand you. They get exposed in your presence. That's why they know, and they have underlying insecurities, and you have been thinking that you have insecurities. They planted insecurities in you. They never meant to destroy you or make you feel smaller. They were actually trying to hide their feelings. That's why they mocked you. They weren't that much powerful to confront their feelings. That's why they mocked you. That's why they wanted you to realize that you are wrong. You are someone to be improved. You are someone who needs to work, or you are the problem. Actually, they don't wanted not to confront their problem. They wanted to hide from their problem because that makes them scared of that. That's why they shifted blame on you. That you are the problem. You are the cause of every worry, every happenings, every tornadoes in the world. You are the cause of it. Why? Because they know that they have problem that they need to sort out in themselves. They need to work upon themselves. They know that they don't deserve your presence. That's why they hate you. Now here the question rises that why don't the powerful we think, powerful, materialistically powerful, why don't they confront such issues? Because they are powerful too. Why aren't they mocked? Why aren't they bullied? Because it is not something that you can analyze through materialistic lens. That's why I said in the beginning of video that we need spiritual tools to analyze this situation in the materialistic world. Because, and I'm not saying that you are powerful only spiritually and you're not materialistic powerful, because this spiritual power has its own manifestations in the materialistic world, and that's why they get buried in the first place. But the nature of power that has material manifestations in the world that you possess is very different from the nature of power that a so-called conventional powerful have. So-called conventional powerful person have that power. You don't possess that power. Its nature is very different from the power that a so-called conventionally powerful person possesses. And the reason he is not mocked, it's very surprising. The person you think that he is very powerful, why don't he get bullied? It's because people are not petrified of him in his presence. They feel secured. Isn't it surprising that in your presence, and you as a person who is not as yet materialistically accomplished, people get petrified of you? And that's what light is. That's what divine presence is. That's what the spiritual light, that's what the spiritual tool I'm talking about to analyze your situation. The person who is materialistically accomplished, people don't get petrified of him. People feel, they don't feel seen around him, but at least they don't feel terrified as they feel around you. Why? Because that powerful person is as filthy, I shouldn't use these words, but he's as normal as they are according to their worldview. He does not possess that much divinity, that much authenticity, that much purity that you possess as compared to them. That's why they don't get petrified. They feel normal and they respect him, and they don't violate his boundaries. They don't violate your boundaries to violate your boundaries, to mock you, to tease you, to despise you. They only violate your boundary so that they feel good about themselves, while they don't when they are around them, because they get to know their insecurities, their lies, their pathologies. So, chin up, bro. You are good enough. Instead, you're powerful. And if you want to test that if he or she or any person who is bullying you, who is teasing you, if he is actually worried or terrified of you because of your power and he wants to suppress it to feel good, because they know they can't stand your appearance, they can't stand your presence, and they don't deserve your presence, and they need to work upon themselves. Test them. Test them by asking questions like these: that why are you worried from my authenticity? Why are you being so inauthentic? Why don't you become a good person? Or you can ask it generally. Don't directly attack them. You can ask it generally. That I don't get it. That why do people get worried or get terrified or get anxious from good people, from people who are morally good, or who are being consciously moral? You can ask any of questions like these in a general way, and you can know that what's the reason behind your worry.